And COVID, they're giving out free masks now, Jonathan. Where? Right now, the U.S. government has made a contract with Myers and Hy-Vee stores. I know Myers stores. Hy-Vee, Hy-Vee. I don't know who that is.
Me either.
And also expected at Walgreens on Friday. It is coming from the U.S. government stockpile. You can go to any one of these 3 stores and obtain a supply of N95 masks.
Ooh.
For free.
I need those.
For free.
I need some N95s.
Yes. And yesterday, vaccine makers Pfizer and BioNTech, that does the Pfizer shot, announced plans to test an Omicron-specific vaccine in people. You know, the issue with vaccines, I don't know what's going to happen, is, you know, based on, at least Moderna just came out recently and said that their vaccine efficacy, meaning that how well it works, starts to wane after 6 months. Mm-hmm. Are we going to have to keep taking shots every 6 months or 9 months or 12 months? Hopefully that's not going to be the case.
That would be a lot.
And they just came out, interestingly enough, with one of the first new polls on attitudes about COVID. And I read the polls and I thought it was very interesting. And they haven't really done these polls about people's attitudes in the United States of America about how they feel about COVID. And the morning, a poll by the Morning Consult of 4,411 Americans in January of 2022, old and young people living in the United States of America, this is what they found out. If they asked the question, how worried are you about getting sick from COVID within the next year? Believe it or not, the people who were the most concerned were ages 18 to 34.
Wow.
And the people least concerned are generally the people who are scientifically supposed to be the most concerned are people plus 65. Odd, isn't that?
Very odd.
The plausible explanation for the discrepancy seems to be political ideology. Younger people seem to be Democrats. Older people seem to be Republicans. And Republicans are less likely to be concerned about COVID than Democrats.
Okay.
Now, across most demographic groups, Americans have broadly similar attitudes towards COVID. It's just not true of young and old, but also of men and women. It's just completely not true across everything. Democrats were asked, as we deal with Omicron, I am going to make changes to my normal activity or continue my normal activity. Democrats said they were going to, 65% of Democrats said they were going to make changes to their normal activity. Only 30% of Republicans said that. Now, the COVID vaccines are remarkably effective at preventing serious illness. If you're vaccinated, your chance of getting severely sick are extremely low. We've talked about that a lot. Even among people 65 and older, the combination of vaccines' effectiveness and the Omicron variant's relative mildness means that COVID, at least in this time period of Omicron, now appears to present less danger than getting seasonal flu. Wow. So if you are vaccinated and boosted, you have less chance of getting hospitalized from COVID than you do from the seasonal flu. Mm-hmm. For the unvaccinated, however, because we've said this time and time again, this is a pandemic of the unvaccinated. COVID is worse than any other virus that is out there, common virus that's out there right now. It has killed more than 865,000 Americans, and it is the #1 cause of death in the United States, above cancer and heart disease, for the unvaccinated. But if you look at Americans' level of worry of getting sick by vaccination status, a majority of the boosted say they are worried about getting sick, yet a majority of the unvaccinated say they are not worried about getting sick. What does that have to say? That if you're not vaccinated, you're likely to get sick, and they're not worried about it. And if you are, but the misinformation goes both ways. Because if you're vaccinated and boosted, the statistics, at least at this point with Omicron, suggest you have a less chance of being hospitalized than getting the flu.
Yeah.
You could get sick. We talked about that a lot. No one says you're not going to be prevented from getting sick, but it is unlikely you're going to die or get severely ill if you have the vaccine and the booster. Yet people with the vaccine and booster are most scared of getting sick.
Right.
Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.